But there's not one type of prayer that's going to fit every situation. You need to understand there are certain types of prayer that will work in this situation and not work very well in the other situation. Well, we're talking about the different types of prayer. Today we're going to talk about a prayer that is one of those prayers that seem to work so well for just about every situation. How many of y'all like a prayer that can work in almost every? If there was any type of prayer that can work in, one size fits all, one type of prayer can fit almost every situation, it's this one. It is, are you ready? The prayer of agreement. You say, what is that? Well, we're going to learn about it. Here in Matthew chapter 18, verse 19. This is Jesus speaking. Again, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything you ask for, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. For where two or three come together in my name, there am I with them. Wow. Isn't that an incredible promise? Jesus says just if two or three people can agree in prayer about what things? Anything. Chemists have discovered that if they can take one chemical and maybe put it together with another chemical or maybe a second chemical, they've discovered that three chemicals, if they're brought together, actually will increase the chemical's effectiveness. A person can, you can have chemical A, B, and C, and if they're used separately, they do something. But they've discovered if you can bring them together, A is better than the A alone. And the B is better than the B alone. They discover that if we put it together, they increase each other's effectiveness. It's called the law of synergy. That's why doctors will also tell you, how many of y'all know sometimes if you're in disagreement, you're better off praying alone. You see? And that's why doctors will tell you, be careful, don't take this medicine if you're taking this, because they discovered that the chemicals in this medicine will work badly with the chemicals in this. That's synergy. Now, are you ready for this? Your prayers have a certain amount of power and faith behind it. But if you can get the right prayer partner to join with you, your power in your prayer, it just increased. And someone else joins and you get the right partner, that person's prayer increases your power. Before you know it, you have more power together than if you were praying separately for the same thing. Jesus knew that secret. Let's look into the Word of God to prove this. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 8. Leviticus 26, verse 8. And what does it say? 5 of you will chase 100, and 100 of you will chase how many? 10,000, and your enemies will fall by the sword before you. Now, do your math. If 5 can chase, what does it say? 5 chases 100, that means 100 can chase what? 10,000? Did you know the more they got working together, they actually increase each other's effectiveness? Because if you did the math, then you see that as you add more people, they increase each other's effectiveness 5-fold. You see, so in other words, the more people you can get in agreement that God is going to do a certain thing, the greater the power is available. That's why it says in Deuteronomy 32:30, how can one man chase 1,000 and 2 can put 10,000 to flight? Now that's easier math. 1 can put 1,000, but 2 puts 10,000. However, if you take 1 working by himself, he puts 1,000. You take the other person working by himself, what does he put? 1,000. If they work by themselves, they only put 2,000. But if they can work together, they can put 10,000 to flight. Do you see the law of synergy? That if we can get in agreement with others, we will see greater power, greater wisdom as we begin to pray together. Now, what will the prayer of agreement work on? Anything. Can y'all say anything? And that means don't put limitations on that verse. So your mind starts thinking, well, it can't work on this. Why not? anything